to how you claim your Google My Business listing. Maybe some of you had done this, maybe some of you haven't. It's really important that you own your Google My Business listing, because if it's an agency that has it for you, or maybe you've created a few, you just want to make sure that you have ownership of it and you go through the right processes so you can set it up the proper way. If you haven't already done it, you can go to google.com/business. And with this, that's where you're going to basically kind of go through a bunch of different steps in order to kind of work your way towards getting access to your Google My Business listing. They do this so to make sure that people aren't grabbing your listing, or there's fraud or there's spam going on. They want to make sure that the real owner of the Google My Business listing is that practice and not somebody else. So you'll jump on there. The first thing you'll do is type in your business name. There's a possibility that maybe you or an employee has already set this up, and your name would just show up there and you wouldn't necessarily have to set it up. You may have to request for access for it if some other third party has created one for you, or there could be potentially someone that not related to your business that created it for some maybe nefarious reason, but unlikely that's going to happen in podiatry. But in more competitive industries like lawyers and attorneys, sometimes that stuff does happen. They call Google My Business spam. So you'll get through there. In kind of the first step, what you want to do is that you want to make sure that the listing that you use, the main category is podiatrist. It's the one that's most relevant to most of you people on the call today. So you'll want to make sure that's your top level category, because that will help you show in podiatry and podiatrist related searches there on Google. The next one is basically you want to just kind of notify, where your clinic is, that you do have a clinic location. Unless you're just providing routine care out and about mobily, or maybe you work in some different settings that aren't actually not inside your clinic. This can vary between different people and kind of what their practice is like, but it's important that if you do have a brick and mortar clinic, that you set it up appropriately, as far as they can visit and come into your office. And obviously, you'll want to have to put in your phone number, your website address, your location, all the kind of important contact details as you kind of work through this with Google. At the very end, you'll be able to basically tell that Google that your setup is complete, but things don't end there. You might have some preliminary access to the back end and kind of dashboard of your Google My Business profile, but at that point, they'll be sending you they'll ask you to verify a method of verification. For most people, that's going to be a postcard. You can sometimes do it through online ways, but most people are just to make sure that, especially if you're a brick and mortar business, they're going to want to send you a physical card with a code on it to make sure that it's verified and that you are the kind of legal owner of that business. So this is what that postcard looks like. Generally, it's going to show up in about 7 to 10 days, and it'll have a code on there, and it'll give you a URL for a website address to verify your listing.